My dad is a good man. As long as I can remember, he's been making sacrifices for our family. He's been helping me learn to do things. He's been doing everything he can to make sure that the people in our family, me, my brother, and my mom, all get to accomplish dreams and goals that we've had since we were little kids. And he's a huge reason that I work on cars, that I started the YouTube channel, that I'm still doing YouTube today. It has a lot to do with my dad. And I could name hundreds of reasons or things that kind of led to this point, and things that I want to pay him back for if I ever could, and I can't. But the one thing that I think is kind of like this cornerstone of my YouTube, and more importantly, like the automotive career that I've somehow managed to create for myself, is the very first time me and my dad worked on a car together. Now, when I was 12 years old, I really started kind of getting into cars. I'd always been into building things, Legos, Connects, really anything. My dad was a carpenter by hobby, so I built things with wood a lot in his shop, very splintery creations, and I loved just building stuff. And when I was 12, I started figuring out you can build cars, you can customize and make cars look however you want them to look. That was huge for me, and it really changed the way I looked at cars. I stopped looking at them as vehicles and things to just kind of admire from afar, and started looking at them as a piece of artwork, a piece of thing to make my own, to create and turn into something that I really wanted. And that all kind of culminated to me turning 15. My uncle contacted me and said, hey, I've got this Fiero that I will sell you for $1. And for you guys that don't know what a Fiero is, this is one. It's a mid-engine sports car, sports car. It was a 4-cylinder automatic, slow as all get out, and it did not run. But he said, look, I'll sell it to you for $1 and you can figure out what you want to do with it. And around the same time, my dad started showing me pictures of things called kit cars. Now, I'd never heard of a kit car in my life, but kit cars are basically what they sound like, a car that comes in a kit that is meant for you to build in your garage. Now, on the very bottom level of this, it's just a little kind of, or big, I guess, fiberglass kit that goes onto the body and frame of another car. At the very other spectrum, you have full custom tube chassis, things like the Factory 5 GTM, where you're building a custom car from the ground up in your garage. My dad said, I know you're into cars, and would you want to do this with me? Would you want to build one of these kit cars with me? And I thought I could literally think of nothing better to do with my time than to build this car with my dad. So that's a story for another day, but all you guys need to know is that for the next 6 months, my dad worked with me every single weekend. And some weekends where I didn't want to work, he kept working on this car to produce this kit car. And let me show it to you. Now, I have pictures of this just from my past, but this picture is from an article written about the car in Jalopnik, and the writer was not very nice. This car looks like it was built by a 15-year-old, and that's because it was. And my taste was that of a 15-year-old in the time of Fast and Furious and Need for Speed Underground. Fully complete with NOS seat covers, bright blue paint, and some interesting wheel specs. This car was kind of weird to look at, and still kind of is, but it did represent something for me, and it's the start of me working on cars. And the only reason that that ever happened was because of my dad. If you guys want to know more about that car, I'll make a video telling the whole story and what it is and all of that. Just let me know in the comments below. So ever since I was 15, I've wanted to recreate that type of thing for my dad, right? Like a thing where I'm able to get him a car and fix a car up with him on my dime and with my time, in order to just give him something really cool. And more importantly than that, have a reason to spend time with my dad. And that is what we're gonna be doing with this next Thursday series. It's gonna be working on one of his cars. Now, my dad is a huge Mustang fan. He had a 65 Mustang that he actually sold to buy my mom's wedding ring. And now, later in life, he has a 67 that you guys have no doubt seen. It's beautiful, it's white. We will get into that on the channel as well. And he's got a red Foxbody Mustang. He actually bought this Mustang the same time I bought the Audi, and I think the only picture or video I have of it is from one of my very first videos with the Audi. And this thing was very ugly. He bought it off of a person that worked for him at his gymnastics gym for $300. It had a blown engine, and that same weekend, he put a Ranger engine in it. So after putting the Ranger engine in, he painted the exterior. He had it painted. I wasn't painting cars at the time. And then he also painted the interior with my interior painting trick that I've shown in several videos. And the car has been really great, but there's one major issue, and that is that it is so slow. And slow is relative, and I get that. Like, some people who have driven really fast cars will think normal cars are slow. Like, that's all relative. This is not relative slow. This is absolute slow. This is the slowest car I've ever seen in my entire life. And to prove that to you, we filmed a 0 to 35. Now, what you're thinking, why not 0 to 60? Well, it's because we couldn't get it to 60 in this very large open space. We could only get it to 35. So what you're about to see is the car flat out, foot to the floor accelerating from stop, right in front of the speed bump, all the way to the water on the other end. And he tops out at the water at 35 miles an hour. This is flat out. All right, so I know that was painful to watch, but there is redemption in this story. We are going to make this car fast. We're gonna do it on the channel, and I'm gonna do it with my dad every step of the way. Along the way, we're also gonna upgrade a few things, and we're gonna get rid of that horrible automatic transmission and put in a T5. So in the end, my dad will have a much faster car, but we're not going to do your typical 5.0 V8 swap because, well, that's boring, and he already has a 5.0 V8 Mustang, and that's the 67. So this time, we're going turbo. We bought a 2.3 turbo with a T5 transmission out of a turbo coupe, a Thunderbird turbo coupe to be exact. It's a 1987, which I'm told is a pretty good year to get one. And it is pretty awesome, honestly. It's a Ford turbo motor that they didn't make very long. They put in a lot of oddball cars, and they put in the Mustang, but they never put in this Mustang. His Mustang is a 92, it's a convertible, and it's a later style. I'm pretty sure, and I may be wrong, and you can correct me in the comments, but I'm pretty sure that the turbo only came in the four-eyed Foxbody and not in the later Foxbody. So it's gonna be a very unique car. It's gonna make all the right sounds, and it's gonna make a pretty decent amount of power. But first, we've got to get this junkyard turbo engine torn down to see what we find inside, and spoiler alert, we find some stuff inside. We can use it again then, just hanging on the thing, yeah. Another thing I forgot to mention is we are going to be doing a 5-speed swap on this car as well. It's an automatic now, so the $1,000 bought the 5-speed, the engine, and the harness. I should have bought the ECU, and I actually did technically buy the ECU, but the guy at the junkyard couldn't figure out where it was or how to get it out. So I didn't think that it was an issue then. I thought that I thought the ECUs were interchangeable, and they're not. That was just based on something I read online. And so we're gonna have to buy an ECU, but that's fine, we'll do that. No, this way. Soak it. We'll let it soak while we're eating, and then
I'm gonna use that for...
What is that?
Air cooler. I see a part it's left.
Oh, well, I think we're out of spray now. Go ahead. Just spray it.
Is this the right way?
Turn this thing right here.
Run the 65 for the month on the first one for May.
That's the right way.
And is that the
How long?
Okay. Now what else?
Okay.
What did KK say?
She's gonna go clean her hands.
Right. hose down there. What kind of clamp is it?
Squeeze clamp.
Yeah, that's where I got these.
What is it?
Oh, that's
Are you taking a photo?
no, it's a video.
A video. I'll do the video for you. When is the video going to be done?
Stud. Is there a nut on that?
There's not one. Probably was one. Something.
Off of there, and we'll just
All
use
of
them.
our 2-year-old classes are full right now. At least one child absent each week just due to travels. So if you wanted to come and try it for $1.
Something's hitting. It feels like here.
Look over behind KK.
Right there. It feels like we're contacting something.
Do y'all want to stay here or do you want to go in?
Yes, ma'am.
Do these fuel injectors just push in?
Yeah, probably. There's probably.
Oh, there's a
retaining
nut
bolt.
that's holding it, holding the rail in.
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't find the box. Can I pull a spark plug out?
We gotta unbolt them first.
Unbolt them.
What Popsy's doing is called fuel injectors. Okay, stand up. Let KK do it because Daddy's hands got grease on them.
Okay.
Go see KK. She can take
My
them.
hands are getting greasy on them.
That's why you got those gloves. All right. Let's see if you can figure out what it is. It's a little different from the one in our book. But this, what is this? You know what that is?
Tell me the books.
What do you think it is? It's the one you get most excited about in the book. It makes the car go super fast.
I know it.
What? Starts with a T.
I know it. Turbo boosters.
It's turbo boosted. And that is a real life turbo booster. How cool is that?
Yeah?
Yeah?
And how fast will it go?
The fastest.
What car?
Popsy's red car.
Daddy, my hands are going. Papa, are you gonna go get your red car and bring it here and we'll put the engine in it?
I am gonna get my red car.
And bring it here
Yep.
and put the engine in it?
Yep. We gotta take the engine out of it and then we'll put this one in it. What do you think?
This one is faster.
That's right.
But how is this fit in there?
It's the same engine, it's just got a turbo booster on it.
This is giant!
Okay. Oh, that is light. Okay. You can do it.
No, come on, guys.
You know how to do that. This way. There you go. Watch your fingers on that. There you go. Good job. Okay. Now Daddy will get this out all the way.
And then I'll pull the spark plug out with
Yep. Maybe. Whenever you're ready, try to get it off. You're still connected. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's okay.
Voila!
Sick. All right. Yeah, man. Here, hold this.
Can't see what I'm seeing.
Oh, it's because it's pointed to you. Flip it around. That's the oldest thing you've ever done. You've never done something so old.
I didn't know if you had it turn around backwards. Ooh.
What do you see?
Oof.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, that would explain why it wasn't rotating around. Bummer.
Yeah. That's a rebuild. Well,
What is this?
sludge. I don't know.
Something got in there.
Well, here's the good news. We've always wanted to rebuild an engine.
Yeah.
So,
Might as well. We're already
here we
there.
go. We're in it.
Yeah, we're already here. Sure. We will lose it. Ooh, here comes the coolant.
Makes a big difference.
That's true. We'll open those up for a second. Look
There
at that.
you go.
Whoop. Hey-o.
Yeah. I mean, you could get that far.
Lift, being able to work underneath cars, which that quick jack thing, quick jacks, pull the wheels off of it, so it'll make it super easy.
Putting
Just,
it in
yeah, the lack of space.
no space underneath.
We're gonna number the pistons from the front to the back of the block.
Yeah. Let's see. Turn it with.
Okay. Yeah, we need one. Overall, pretty clean looking. Oop.
Saw. Got it. You got it, man.
Okay, we got plan B. We're gonna take it with the piston in it to the machine shop and see if he can get that out, because he's got the tools obviously to clean this up, where we're not just scraping it with sandpaper and getting it out around and all that bad stuff. He'll be able to actually remove it probably pretty easily. So that means we gotta pull the oil pump, right? But then we're done. Yeah. Cool, let's pull that thing off. All right, that is gonna be it for this video on the Turbo Mustang build. This stuff's got to. Well, you remember how I said I was done? Well, we're not done for today's video, and that's because we took this to the machine shop, and he said you got to get the piston out, hit it really hard, which we were gonna do originally, but just weren't really sure if that was the right answer, and turns out it is. So we've got a little bit of work to do to get this piston out. He said we're probably gonna have to bore it over, which means we're probably gonna have to get new pistons, which is kind of a bummer, but we're also kind of excited about that, just for the experience. But what we're gonna do is throw this back on this stand, and then we'll get it out, flip it over, hammer the piston out, then take it back to the machine shop, and he's gonna check it out for us and see. He also told me it would take him till June to get to this thing, but I'm hoping he was just being dramatic and trying to run me off, because when I told him, when I acted like I wasn't gonna run off, he took the head and told me it'd be a week. So we hope that he just didn't want me to leave it with him, and he'll actually take it. Is it down? Just past that ring. Yeah. Okay. Now flip it back. Yeah, that's good right there. That's perfect. That's it. Dump that blaster out of there. Oh yeah, dude. Easy. Catch it. It's coming out. Got it. Easy peasy. Job is what he normally does. I don't know. Because at first he said, I can't take anything, and then he was like, well, go take that piston out, and then I'll look at it. Now the episode is over. That piston came out really easy, which I hope is a good sign, but there's definitely pitting at the top edge of the piston where that water was sitting, which is not good. So I'm gonna take this thing back over to the machine shop. He said he wanted to look at it with the piston out, so I'll bring it back over there. Maybe boring it out isn't as big of a deal or something as what he would normally do. I don't know. He acted like he wanted to take it. So we're gonna find a solution for this block, and in the next episode, we'll already have the solution, and hopefully we'll have a block that's ready to be reassembled. That's the plan. See you guys next week.